Hello and welcome to a quick video where I will be sharing my top 3 biggest mistakes that I made when it came to quitting porn and NoFap. So number 1 has to be being too reliant on willpower and kind of overcomplicating things a bit, like thinking that, I'll be fine, I'll be able to deal with urges at any point in the future. And it's like, there's so many simple things you can do today if you just decide for yourself you're serious about quitting porn. There's things you could do right now which would help you, give you a better chance of quitting porn. So for me, over the last 18 months, I've not actually used any porn sites, but what I was doing is using social media to find sexual content, and for me, that's the same. So what I realized is if I just delete social media, then it's a lot easier. It's so much easier to quit porn if I'm not getting triggered and I'm not feeling cravings all the time. So how the habit loop works, how this sort of problem arises, is often we have subconscious sort of patterns which go on and on and on, and we're not really aware of them. And to break those patterns, what we need to do is become more aware of the habit loop. So you have cue, craving, response, reward. And for me, the cue that led to the cravings in the past was often social. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And what I've done is just delete all of those apps, and it's been a lot easier to quit ever since. I do sometimes go on those platforms on my desktop for certain work that I want to do, or maybe to check in with friends on Messenger on my phone. That's fine. I'm not totally against social media. It's just having it on my phone as an app, that's not going to fly. That's just not going to work for me. I know what I'm like. And I might be fine 95% of the time, but then after a few weeks, when I'm feeling tired, lonely, anxious, stressed, and maybe I've not meditated yet, or I've not gone to the gym and I've eaten unhealthily, if I'm in a really, really bad mood and I've got TikTok on my phone and I'm scrolling on there, getting those dopamine hits, my mind's overstimulated, well, I'm just putting myself in an incredibly vulnerable position, and I don't need to put myself in that position where I have those cravings. So just remove TikTok, remove the trigger, remove the cravings, and you're going to find this a lot easier. Now, the same sort of principle works with porn sites. If you're going on porn sites and you want to stop going on porn sites, then I think blocking them can be a good first step. It's definitely not going to solve this problem overall, because you can just unblock it, but make the restriction harder. Access is a big thing here. Point number 2, again, this is actually something that I really messed up with. It's quite simple, but it's something I got wrong for so many years, and that is focusing on what I don't want instead of focusing on what I do want. So I got to a place where I was thinking about quitting porn way more than I should have been, because I was thinking about the problem. I was thinking about not looking at porn. I wasn't thinking about pursuing my goals and actually solving the problems which would lead to me feeling really fulfilled, content, and happy with my life. And what I kind of did about a year or 2 ago is I sort of flipped the switch, and I stopped focusing on all the things I didn't want to do and just started focusing on what I did want to do. And since then, I've had a promotion at work. I'm doing okay in my career. To be honest, I'm feeling really confident with where I'm at with things in my career. I've started to work out a lot more. I'm in a lot better shape. I've pursued a lot of new friendships and relationships, and I've started a book club recently. I'm doing a bit better at football, and things are just way better in my life since I started to focus on all the stuff I actually did want instead of all the stuff I didn't want. In the past, I'd write down in my journal things like don't go on TikTok, don't go on Instagram, don't look at porn, don't masturbate, don't eat this, don't do that. And it just did not work for me, because I was just attracting all of those things I didn't want into my life, which really is not useful. So tip number 2 is focus on what you do want and not on what you don't want. A really practical way of doing this is write down 6 goals in a journal every day, and then try and achieve those 6 goals. This is something I've been doing for the last 2 years, and it has led to really incredible results in my life personally. Now, the third big mistake that I used to make was identifying with how I felt way too much. What I've realized through cold showers and through meditation and through exercise is that how we feel is always temporary. And so that cold water flowing down onto my head and making me feel really cold on a winter morning in Manchester, it doesn't feel good. It feels really, really uncomfortable. However, it is temporary. So the tap runs, feels really cold, and then I'm out of the shower, I warm up, and you know what? I'm warm again. Now, a very similar concept is going on with our feelings as well. What I've learned is that all sensations are temporary. If you are feeling, stressed or anxious or tired, what you really benefit from understanding is that those sensations are just temporary. If you're feeling incredibly horny, you have really extreme urges, just knowing deep down on a experiential level through practical understanding by doing things like meditation and cold showers and exercise, by knowing that actually those sensations that you're feeling are temporary and they're going to come and they're going to go, that is unbelievable and is so powerful. It's so helpful, and it can really set you free. In the past, I didn't really know that. I didn't understand that. And so if I felt overwhelmed or I felt shame or stress or anxiety, loneliness, whatever it was, I could be swept away by those feelings and I'd feel powerless and not in control of myself anymore. That's partly due to the prefrontal cortex switching offline and the amygdala often being activated, and you go into that fight, flight, freeze response. And so there are quite a lot of more scientific explanations for all of this, but when you understand how temporary sensations are, I do think it can help you not even get into that state in the first place. And then when you are in that state, then you may be better equipped to make the right decision, like go out for a walk or focus on the out breath or ring a friend or just remove yourself from that situation so you can kind of create more mental space and get back to a place where you are in a position to make a rational decision for yourself. So they're my biggest mistakes when it comes to quitting porn and NoFap. Let me know yours in the comments. I do have an online course out as well, so check the link in the description for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.